think, yeah, definitely look at the piston. Broken side skirt. Broken. Pretty much just broken. See if it'll come out in half. No, it won't because of the clips, right? Make sure nothing gets into the motor. Oh, yeah. Oh my god. Okay, that was pretty easy. Let's put the new piston in. That's pretty good. Where's the new piston? There you go. The first car we got going on this new year, we have a 2012 Camaro that a customer reached out to us on our Facebook page. Unfortunately, he had a little mishap a couple years back where the car started to smoke, and he had other things going on like work and stuff like that. So he put the car aside, and the time has come that he's ready to get it back together. He got ahead of us a little bit just to kind of diagnose to see what's wrong with the car. He was trying to eliminate maybe some type of actual damage to the car. So he got to changing plugs, changing oil, changing gaskets and stuff like that. But the smoking continues. So he decided, him and his buddy decided to take off the head and check out the valve seals and stuff like that. And upon that, he encountered a broken piston, unfortunately. So here you can check it out. Got a broken piston. It's not pretty, man. It's not pretty at all. It's pretty ugly. Cylinder number 7. It looks like it damaged the top of the piston there. It's got a hole. Hopefully it damaged the wall. We're gonna check that out. It's missing a piece of the piston there. You can see the ring. So what we're gonna do is, since half of it's already taken apart, he already had the exhaust off. We took off the accessories. We took off the transmission bolts, the torque converter bolts, and the AC compressor. Took off any grounds that the car had, any bolts that it had for the battery to hold any stuff like that, oil cooler lines. And we're just going to pretty much get it out and disassemble the engine. The car's still stock. The only thing it had was headers. We're gonna try to do the DOD delete. I really don't want to put this engine back together with the VVT and the DOD stuff. So you can see here the DOD lifters, the stock stuff. 2 springs, 2 regulars, 2 springs. Since the car sat, a lot of I think it got a little nest of rats. So he took care of that. He got rid of them. Just left a little stuff behind. So we're gonna clean it up, clean the engine bay, take off all the stuff that the rats destroyed. And that's all stuff that we gotta take care of. Okay, so Pedro already took care of taking off the bolts for me on the transmission and the torque converter. And you can see what leaving the car parked for a while does, unfortunately. It's never the plan, unless it's garage kept and the customer had the car outside. So we got bee nests and rat poop, and we got some firewall mesh hanging around. So it's all right. Just sat too long. So you guys know, if something goes on, give me a call. I'll work with you. I'll help you guys out. I'd rather work something out with you guys than let the car sit and potentially cause more problems later on down the road. But everything seems pretty solid on this car. It seems okay. So we're just gonna get it out, take it apart, and see if that's the only damage we got. If that's the case, we're just gonna replace that one piston for now. He has plans for the car. He just wants to get it running, so he's not having to push it around. So we'll replace the piston. We're likely gonna do a DOD delete, and we're likely gonna put a small cam in it while we're there. It's one of those things where it's out, just do it. So let's get ready to pull the motor out here. Okay, the engine's out. I didn't get where we're pulling it out, but it was pretty easy. Came straight up. This car's have enough space to be able to take the engine out without removing the hood or anything like that. So we'll get that cleaned up. Biggest worry right now is just taking care of this piston issue. It's missing the whole top of the piston there. It's pretty bad, the damage. Luckily, there is no damage to the cylinder wall from what we can see here at all. So that's a good thing. No cracks, no visible lines. You bring me you got something to wipe with? A paper towel? I think I left them there in the office. We'll wipe the cylinder wall to check it out. This one seems okay. Yep. This one's good. This one's just got rat poop in it and a little bit of antifreeze. Go ahead and wipe the cylinder wall. Okay. No, yeah, definitely nothing. We lucked out, man. We'll just replace the piston. Check the rings if they're okay. If they're not okay, we'll just go ahead and hone this one out real quick. Give us a good little bite and put this piston back together. Well, while we're there, we'll check the other side to see what else is going on. Hopefully it's just that one side and nothing else is going on. But all right, let's get this head taken off. I want to see what's going on with this side. Clean. For sitting for a couple years, looks like before he uh-oh, what's this? Oh, it's the oil cap thing. All right, we're okay. For sitting for a couple years, looks like prior to it being parked, the engine looked pretty clean. We're taking off the rocker arms now. We'll pull the push rods. We'll pull the head bolts out and take the head off. Okay, so we have the oil pan off and we're taking the number 7 piston out. There's a piece of ring and piece of piston in the bottom of the oil pan, so I think, yeah, definitely look at the piston. Broken side skirt. Broken. Pretty much just broken. See if it'll come out in half. No, it won't because of the clips, right? Make sure nothing gets into the motor. Oh. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. That was pretty easy. Let's put the new piston in. That's pretty good. Where's the new piston? Here you go. So he brought us a new piston. Oh, right here. Good OEM GM replacement with a new wrist pin. I don't know if that's a part number, but came with the clips. He went to the dealer, our local dealer, and he got it. It's part number right there, 19208-471, factory GM 62 piston. So yeah, definitely. We're gonna inspect the rest of it. We're gonna change the cam. We're gonna put a cam in it. We're gonna change the springs. We're gonna change push rods. We're gonna put new gaskets. You gotta take off the timing cover. We're gonna take off this VVT timing cover. We're gonna put a regular LS2 style or LS3 style timing cover. We're gonna take off this valley cover and put a flat style LS2 valley cover and go backwards. Everything seems to be okay. The motor spins pretty good. You know, not really any issues. So let's see what else we find. I'm trying not to find any damage, but we'll see what else goes on here. Okay, so we have the engine upside down, and like I said, there's no damage to the cylinder wall at all from the piston coming apart, which is a good thing. So we have this ball hole that we're going to use. It pretty much just goes in, and just a quick little pass, nothing more than 5 seconds, just to give us some new marks so the new rings will bite. And we're going to use the lubricant. We're just going to use WD-40 for now. A lot of people use transmission fluid or other oils, but I'll just use that. It's good enough. It'll it'll sit the rings. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so that was that. This went in, a couple strokes in and out for a good 5 seconds, really quick. It doesn't take long. Make sure you just keep it lubricated. And sorry for the mess, it's been a long week and haven't cleaned up, but there's your marks. And all we're doing is just giving the cylinder wall a new pattern so the new rings can set. And that's it. Doesn't take much anymore. We'll start boring out. Well, not really, but we start taking more than we need off, and all we need to do is get the rings to set. So there we go. Looks pretty good to me. I'll clean up the rest of the block before I put the piston in and lubricate the bearing on the crank and put her back together. So before installing the piston, you want to make sure that the crank is extremely clean, and then this one is really nice. So the crankshaft was okay, the rod was okay, the bearings on the rod are super good. It's a really good condition. And then these are the replacement rings, part number 1916890, made in Mexico, but genuine GM. So we're gonna put these rings on, compress the rings on the piston and slide it back in and see how it spins. It should spin pretty good. I use right now we're changing the valve springs. Also, we're putting some Beehive 600 pack spring. I use for something like this that's not gonna sit for a while, I use just the Lucas High Performance lube. It's very sticky, very tacky. For something that sits a while longer, like the motor that's inside my office, I use the super white lithium. Works pretty good. Haven't had any issues. Always great oil pressure, so I stick to what works. But let me put this piston in and we'll go from there. Okay, the connecting rod's in. It's this one, goes 15 foot-pounds and then 85 degrees. So I turn it. Pretty smooth. Let's see the piston. That's on this side. There it is. It's in. Just gotta clean it. I had the little bumper that I was using to put it in, but very good. All right, I'll put the windage tray on, the pickup tube, throw the cam in. We're gonna put, I have it here, it's a TSP 224R at 112, 224, 224, 600, 600. That's what we're gonna throw in it. Okay, so in order to use an aftermarket cam, you have to remove the AFM or DOD, which is active fuel management or displacement on demand system on the Camaro or trucks that have it G8s. I'm not sure, but a lot of the 6.2s that are not stick, that are not legit LS3s, like a stick car, that LS3 Camaro, which is stick, does not have this, and the LS3 Corvette, which is stick, does not have this. But you got to remove all the active fuel management. So this is the old timing cover. This is VVT here. You got to remove this and then just put a regular style with a cam sensor here that has it. It's here too. I'm gonna just take this one off and put it here, or I might buy another one. And then you got to take off the VV2 solenoid that controls the variable timing. Take that off and put a regular 3-bolt, because the VVT cam is a 1-bolt cam, and the Texas Speed cams or any other cam, Brian Tooley, Comp Cam, they're all 3-bolt cams. So we got to put a 3-bolt sprocket. And it has to be a 4X on these models. These years, they make one that's a half moon, and then they make one that's a 4X. This one has to be a 4X in order for the camshaft to pick up the signal. Another thing I like to change is the tensioner. I don't like putting these tensioners back. They're made out of plastic, and they do break. And in one of my previous videos working on a Vet, you can see how this piece came apart, and this was just hanging on there. They get weak and they break. I don't like putting those. I put a dampener back in, which bolts up the same way. It just pretty much gets rid of the chain slack. This part number here is 125-88-670. And the cam sprocket, the 3-bolt, is 125-86-481. And then also we got the timing cover. I'll give you that part number right now. And then also the solenoid, the thing that controls the oil and the lifters and stuff like that. All the solenoid stuff has to get removed. You keep the oil pressure sensor, put it on the new one. This is the LS2 cover. It doesn't have a vent tube. This car didn't have a vent tube here, so we got the one without a vent tube. They make 2 of these. You got to be careful. They make one with a vent tube and they make one without a vent tube. So you have to get the one without. On this car, I had to get it. You have to get lifter trays because the other lifter trays have a weird hole in here. So you got to get 4 of these. This is part number, what's going on here? Oh, here it is. 125-95365. You need 4 of these. They're lifter trays. And then, of course, your regular head gaskets, valve cover gaskets, head bolts. And then the valley cover part number without a vent tube, 125-98832. And then the timing cover part number. So they make 2 timing cover part numbers. They make one with a sensor and a gasket and all the bolts. And then they make one that's just plain like that one. The plain one is part number 126-00326. So this is what we need to do to remove the active fuel management or / DOD delete in order to get the cam to work normal and in order to tune it normal. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I've never really done it, and I don't see why people would do it. I think they sell a cam that you can use with this VF, the AFM and stuff, but that's pointless. I mean, you're there, just put it back to normal. I'm not 100% sure if they do, but maybe on the LTs, that's how they sell them. But other than that, let's put all these brand new parts on it. I got to go get a store. I got to go get a seal. This one doesn't come with a seal or the cam sensor, so I got to put a new seal on it. And then I got to work on taking this one out. It's very hard to take these out without breaking them because they get stuck. They get real good and stuck. So if I can't take this out, I'm just going to go buy a new cam sensor, put a new seal, and then get the connector off this one. So I'll just be able to take this connector off. The one that comes with a cam sensor, I'll move this oil pump. This one, I painted this one, but this is the one that you can order from the dealer. They have it in stock. It comes with the gasket. It comes with all the bolts. It comes with the seal, and it comes with the connector and the sensor. So this one's about $140 for this one complete. I painted it because I'm gonna put it in my wagon on dripping oil. I'm gonna put it on my wagon, so it's gonna. I wanted everything to be new and clean, but you can get that one, or you can get the plain one where you just change everything over. So usually I recommend if you're in a hurry and you don't have patience, just get the one that comes with new bolts, new gasket, new seal, new cam sensor, and just throw it on there. But if you got time and maybe you can save a lot of, I think this one is like $60. So you're saving about half the cost if you just go get this one, switch the camshaft over, the little harness, and throw the other gasket on. But I got to go get a timing cover gasket set because it didn't come with a crank seal, and it didn't come with an oil pump O-ring, and didn't come with a gasket. So we're kind of back up there. The timing cover gasket set's about $45. So aside the sensor, we're kind of almost the same price. So let me go get that stuff, and let me go ahead and finish putting the engine back together. So we got the timing cover on, the new valley cover on. We got the oil pan back on with new gaskets. We got the heads on with new gaskets. And we got the springs on. Those are Beehive pack spring 600 lift. And, well, actually they're 615 lift. And then right now we're just torquing the heads. It's 22 pounds in sequence, 22, 90 degrees, and 70 degrees. So we'll be done with that. We'll put the Texas bead push rods in, torque up the rocker arms, and it should be good to go into the Camaro tomorrow morning. So we'll just wait till tomorrow to throw the motor in. Last minute checks, clean up, and then put it in. Okay, it's early in the morning the next day. Got the Engine bay cleaned up, pressure washed. Took off all the hanging mesh that was in the firewall that the rats messed up. So we got everything pulled off to the side, harness to the side, starter to the side, space for the motor mounts and the transmission. And we got the engine here ready to go, all cleaned up. Degreased it and cleaned up as much as we could, so it's ready to go. Already all set up, DOD deleted, and a new cam. So I'll try to put it in real quick, bolt it down onto the trans and bolt it to the motor mounts, and then start throwing the power steering, the water pump, the AC compressor, the alternator bracket, throw the headers on it, throw the coils on it. That's it. Just keep going and see if we can get this thing turned on by tonight. So we got everything back on, the intake, the headers, throttle body, coils, spark plugs, wires, put oil in it, put antifreeze in it, and whatever's here is topped off with water. We're gonna put 2 gallons of antifreeze. It'll start mixing here in a bit. Put the belts on, checked everything, check all connections, check fuel. So we're about to do a first startup here. We already cranked the motor over a little bit just to get some oil pressure, just to make sure, and there was. So we haven't put the filter on yet. We're just gonna turn it on and see if we see any leaks. Go for it. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish bolting up the rest of the bumper, check fluids one more time. The car seems to be running pretty okay. Yeah, it doesn't have an AC belt because the compressor is completely gone. The pulley's completely falling apart. So it's put together, it runs, it drives, it has oil, it shifts. Hasn't been driven in 2 years, so the rotors are kind of rusty. So I'm just gonna cruise it over there to Josh's, take it easy, and have him tune it. Make sure it idles fine. Make sure it's not running rich. Make sure it's not misfiring, and just clean it up and turn it into the customer. Let him enjoy it after 2 years, and he's gonna go ahead and he said he was gonna wrap the car and order new wheels and order new tires and get the car completely detailed, and he was gonna do a bunch of stuff to it. So I'm excited to see that. That's pretty cool. But this is one step in the I guess resurrection process of the car being parked after 2 years. So we're gonna find bugs. I noticed I hear a little rattle when the car's on. It sounds like like a heat shield or something's rattling. I can't really pinpoint it. But I'll try to focus on finding that soon. But other than that, let me finish putting the bumper on, and then we'll hit the road to Josh's. Okay, so we took the exhaust off, trying to figure out what that rattle is, and we should have cleaned these headers before we put them on. But we thought something was stuck inside the header because it rattles. Check it out. And we found out that there is a spark plug stuck in between the tubes here. Let's see if we can see it. Where is it? Right there. It's right there. So we're going to try to fish that out, and we're about 100% sure that's going to get rid of our noise. So we'll do that and then go ahead and go straight to Josh. So we got the old spark plug out. This is an old spark plug. It's been there for a while. That's my bad for not checking the headers for anything. I'm not... he didn't tell me if it was rattling before, but it had to have been because this thing's old. It's been there for a while. So, or he said that he changed the spark plugs right before he pulled the head. So this could be one of the spark plugs that fell. He had it on for just a little bit and then turned it off. So either way, we got it out. Gonna bring the car down and take off. Put about half a tank of super. The car seems to be driving fine. It's idling. It's not turning off. It's not loading up. So good thing is the car was tuned before already for the DOD. They had already disabled the DOD system through the tune. All we did is finish it off and delete the mechanical part of it so we can put a cam, and then took advantage of the whole motor being out and replacing the piston and threw the cam in it. So far so good. Scary, the steering wheel is a little shaky. I'm gonna keep it under 60, go all the way to Josh's. So I just gotta get it tuned, idling, revving nice, and the customer will take it from there. Just got here. Coolant seems to be okay. Oil pressure is pretty good. Engine oil temp, charging, trans is good. Not bad. Just get down and get this done. No smoke. That's a good thing. So prior, because of the broken piston, obviously it was smoking. You guys saw the piston. It's pretty bad. But it's not smoking at all. And we fixed it. No knocks, no noise. I say job well done so far. Let's get the tune done, man. I'm excited. The car sounds pretty nice. I think it's got some Calvin bullets or something like that in the back. It sounds really good. It's getting better.
Yeah.
Back from Josh's. Got the tune all nice and dialed in. Car sounds better. Idles a lot better. Nice, clean little chop. All right, we're gonna call the customer, have them come pick it up. Other than that, that's it for the video. Any questions, comments, go ahead and put them down below. Let me know what you liked or what you didn't like about the video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and let's see what else we get this next coming week.